Hi, at the end of the video. Yeah, I lost some footage on top of Lucille being a complete bitch about what she wants to do, so I came out here and I put the pan on and I decided to paint it. Enjoy the video. Just one thing after another. Swear to God, I'll find the biggest goddamn cliff, and off she goes. So that just ruined that paint job. Great. So this is the passenger side manifold, and you can see it broke there, broke there, broke there. The other ones came out. No problem. I've got extra manifolds. I got the ones from the 430. Every single one of these, I had to drill these top ones out. The middle ones that were not open to the public, they came out just fine. These, however, I had to drill out with the drill bit and then re-tap them, and I can't believe it, but I got them to work. This side, we're golden. The other side, however, this one broke off like the ear of the head, y'all. This one I got out with heat. This one I got out with heat. This one just decided it didn't want to play no more and it broke off, as did this one. Again, the ones that are not open to the public are fine. We got to fix this. This one I put high heat JB weld on and it seems to be holding, but I doubt it will. I imagine it'll break off. And I'll have to do what I'm gonna try to do now, because these heads aren't exactly just anywhere. These are a 1 year or 2 year only 661s. Nobody has them. Nope. So what I got here is the original ear. And I cleaned this all off. Now this is cast iron, so this ain't gonna weld the best. We'll just say that, but I gotta try anything. I have to weld a little bit, heat it up. It has to be heated, and oh my God, it looks like it's gonna rain. It just cooled off here like crazy. That's great. That's great. Anyway, back to this. Let's see if I can't get this tacked on, and then we'll get the torch out here and heat up the spot and then do it. The bad part about this is I do not have any sand or anything I can throw on that to help it cool. So it's very possible we could crack it worse, as in the head. But, I mean, I don't have a choice at this point. If I got to take the heads off, I got to find new heads. So let's just get with it. Damn, I mean, literally, like just now, it just got cold. What the hell? Yeah, there's a storm coming, so I'm not going to be able to do this very well. Put it there. It's in there. Oh, looked right at it. Nice job, Jay. Well, we're on there. Why did I do that? Now I'm freaking blind. But it did. It held. I had to watch some videos on YouTube for this flux core to make this work. This is going to be a sumbitch getting up underneath in here. I know you can't see that very well, but it is what it is. I need to tack it one more spot here. Why am I working my butt off to do this? Let's take all this. Oh. hold up. And there's the rain. Perfect timing. But we're right where we need to be. You only want to do little segments at a time. And I'm going to have to do this too, and I'm going to have to shave it down. That's the only way it's going to work. Well, it looks good and it would hold, but unfortunately right there it cracked. It's cracked all the way up into here, like right there and down, so she junked. On the hunt for some heads. Just what I wanted to fucking do. Okay, so it's a couple days later. I went through every kind of faction of trying to find Buick parts, trying to find a damn head, you know, to match or something. I give up. I give up. So we're just going to use the heads off the 430. I got them in here. I did a live the other day where I showed how I, you know, lap the valves and get the heads, and I'm done, whatever. I'm out of it. I never had this much trouble with the motor. But I got them pretty well cleaned up. The one head is lapped and ready to clean and put back together. The other head is right here, and it was so dirty that I literally had to scrub it down with super clean. I use WD-40, works very well for cleaning, by the way, and brake clean a little bit, and a brush, good brush, and just started going through everything. Went through all the valves. All the valves look good. Got them all on my whirly-woo there, cleaned up, so they're ready to lap. But I got to get the intake and the other heads off of that motor. There's storms everywhere north of us. So without rambling too much, guys, I'm just telling you I'm going to combine the 430 and the 455 together. We'll get a little more compression, but I got to get that shit off of that other motor, and I also had to block an oil hole, and I'll show you about that when I get to it. I got to get this thing done. We ain't got time. You'll notice I got rid of the Jeep. It is no longer up here. Me and Zeppelin just moved that to the back because I can't find a transmission for it. And that's just how it goes. Anyway, there's Tim's Quality Tires, like clockwork, getting ready to change a wheel and a tire on my semi. Don't ask. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, I got the valve covers off. Been looking at these rockers. These are aluminum rockers. They seem to be okay. One thing I will lose is a little bit of ratio. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, it should be all of them. It's all of them. Now, because we are saving this motor, I want to clean this up a little bit. The hell. Now that would have leaked immediately. Oh, goddamn, that's heavy. Oh, what do we look like? Got the valley. Please just be nice. No surprises, please. No surprises. No surprises. Well, shit. You gotta see this. Just when you get more angry about how clean something is, and this head decided it doesn't want to play no more. God dang. Look at that. That cam is perfect. Son of a bitch. It's never been off. It has never been off. These weren't, that one was kind of leaking, but we'll clean this all out in here, and yeah, well, now I need to get the rockers. I'm gonna get the rockers out, get these shafts off, and we can inspect them a little better, and then we'll have to get these heads off. I want to get them off, be ready, we'll flip it over, and we'll get this pan off, and we'll start cleaning, and then I got to wrap it so it don't get rain. I got a new tarp wrap this thing because there was water in it. I just dumped it. It got down in here somehow, but yeah, this thing's in really good shape inside. The heads though, that's upsetting. Wow, this thing's clean. Anyway, let me get rocker shafts. What do we got? 3/8, I think. Let me see. Where are you at? Where's 3/8? Hello. The green one's 3/8, but that's not the one I want to use. Where are you at? And no. Well, what the friggin' frig? That one came loose pretty good. No heads. God damn it. It's just from sitting. I mean, to the guy's credit that it came from, and the guy he got it from, it was inside the whole time. My guess is it wasn't inside before that. It sat out for a while. All right. The other thing we have to worry about is these being too loose and worn out. I mean, they don't look any different than, they're all about the same. I ain't worried about that. We need to check though if these shafts fit those heads. I'm gonna go do that real quick. I'll be right back. Went ahead and got all that stuff in the diesel soaking. I can guarantee you these head bolts are better than the ones out of the 430. That's great. That thing's hot. This stand is a piece of shit. Harbor Freight. Oh, well, that one's got to be replaced. Rest of them look pretty good. Four long and short. We ain't reusing that one. Well, this was the bad cylinder. So, oh, come right off. Woo! Head gaskets look good. They're OG. Little rusty. Ooh. Let's get the other one off. Get off there. They were on there. Okay. Get him over here. He's bad. But we can still use springs and shit if we need to. How's this side look? This side's good. This side's not. That cylinder's good. There. Oh no, it cleaned up. We could live with that. Now, a normal man building an engine nowadays would immediately tear this thing apart and take it to a machine shop. We ain't doing that. Let me show you. So all these cylinders look great. This one does too, already checked. The cam and everything looks great. Lifters look great. These look great. This one does not. See the pits right here? There's pitting. That's from that rust that was in here that we broke out. And look at that big score right there. Yeah, I can feel that with my finger, with my thumbnail, or my fingernail. It's not going to get touched. I'm leaving it alone. I may take my dingle ball hone and just root in there real quick and kind of clean a little bit of that up, but I'm not going to worry about it. I think we'll be just fine. Be just fine. This motor, come on, you need something to go right for you, buddy. This thing's starting to piss me off. Okay, so the other thing I have to do to this block to prepare it for those other heads is the 455, I believe 70 through the end, they get oiled through the lifter. Okay, they come up through your push tube and they oil the rocker. The 430 is different. The 400 to 430 right here, this is oil, and it comes up through the head, through that big rocker assembly. That's how it oils, and those heads have the holes for this. Now if you leave those holes open, you're going to lose oil pressure because that oil is going to come through here and it's going to go up and piss around with trying to get through that rocker shaft, and ain't going to be able to do it. And also, it's not good to have this here because that will seep oil into your gasket and it will eventually break through, and then you got a bad head gasket. There's no reason to have oil coming through here. I read in some places where they'll take a drill bit and they'll drill this out to like a 3/8 and shove a 3/8 freeze plug in there, or a block plug. But I got a hold of Dallas about it, Dallas Brown, in Mr. Rotter's neighborhood, and he said you don't have to do that. All you need to do is tap this out. It's already about the right size for a 5/16 set screw. So I'm going to do that. But I can't do it like this because then all the metal goes right down to the number 1 cam bearing right here. So what I'm going to have to do is I got to flip the thing over, then do it, and then I'll suck that out. But you know, while we got it over, we got other things to do. This pan has to come off. The rear main has to come off. I got a lot of stuff to do with this thing flipped over, so that'll be what we do next. After we get everything else changed, we just flip this over and we'll tap this out for a 5/16 set screw. As long as it's underneath there, that should take care of it, and we won't have to mess with it too much. That's a shame. Those are the original freaking head gaskets. This thing's never been touched. God, those cylinders look great, other than one. It just makes me sick, but you know, that's what happens. Right here, that's really, really rusty at the top where the ridge would be. But down there, she's pretty scored up, but we'll give her a little helping hand. But I got to get the freeze plugs out of it because we got to clean this whole engine up. But yeah, so now we'll get her flipped over and we'll get that pan off there. Oh shit, am I going to lose all my lifters? Are they going to pop out? Probably. Dang it, I forgot about that. Well, shit, we can't move them. They got to stay where they are. How could I do it? Duct tape ain't gonna work. Well, I may have to take them off and mark them. Just that simple. So if I'm real lucky here, which I'm not, none of those damn lifters are gonna fall out of that. Please, none fall out. So I have to take this off. This will not be used. But I'm going to save these bolts because they are specific to the Buick. I will be using... What happened? Bring a battery. Anyway, I have Zeppy bring me a battery. These little bolts, they are specific to the Buick to fit inside the block. But I did get a center sump from TA Performance that's 5/8, where the 430s, they're 1/2 inch. So now I got the right one for this, so it'll be as good as it can get. Plus a new oil pump. I got all kinds of shit. But my battery died. Zeppy's out here playing football. We're watching the Columbine drafts, the free agencies. We're watching everything, ain't we, buddy? Hey, dang, you'll hurt yourself. Why is that not working? Uh-oh. Is that worn off? No way. This is... There we go. Okay, so there's the pump, or the... We'll hold on to that. We'll put that right there in that pan, even though that pan's garbage. I'm going to take these off. Splash guard, slash. There we go. Put them in there. My rag. Let's take a gander. This has got to come out. Maybe. Damn, that was in there. Well, what the hell? Get this gasket out of there. Wow. That sucker was glued on. Holy shit. Maybe I should have left that sonbitch on there. God dang. That was on there pretty good. Junk bin. Looks pretty clean. This is what I put on there. just to start it and run it. And get a thing to clean them off a little better. And once I get everything straight here, we'll flip this thing over and I'll clean all up inside there, and hopefully again not lose any lifters, because they're kind of stuck. But this thing, she's in real good shape. Real good shape. God, it's so clean. Good Lord. Clean her up a little here. Get my scraper out in a minute. We'll get all this cleaned up. All right. Let me get a socket. I mean, that sumbitch ain't leaking. The front one was. First part, getting a piece of wire and getting that out of there. What I'm doing is I got a rear main seal from TA Performance. That's a solid rear main seal. I'm trying to decide whether I even want to mess with that, but I got it out. Feeling I'm gonna get into a fucking can of worms. Try to get that rope out of there. Give me a minute, let me get a socket. Well, hold on a minute. Stay or don't give a shit. There you go. That counterweight down. Now here's where I hope I don't lose. There they went. There went one. Damn it. Which one we got? They look really good. Please, no more. I just don't want to lose any of them. Damn. Them bearings. That is. I don't know if that'll focus in. If it does, but they're perfect. And of course, the rear main is also perfect. Son of a bitch. A little rough though, it's kind of hard. I don't have a damn, oh, this one's gonna come right out. Maybe I'll get lucky. Shit, that's old school asbestos too. God dang it. Well, I'm gonna get the other one out. I'm gonna have to get me a little punch. Let me get a long punch. See if I can get, all I need is a little bit. Now, will we be lucky enough that if we turn this, that it'll pop out? Will it ride with the crank? I doubt it. Yeah, little screwdriver that's got some RTV on it. See if I can't. Come on. I really don't want to have to take this whole damn crank out. This is the can of worms I was talking about. I might have enough there. There might be enough there. Let me see if I can coax this up a little bit. Come on. Come on now. I don't think I got a wire either that'll... Let me see if I got a wire. So the reason I have so much trouble with these damn rear main seals, like reinstalling them, is because they don't seal as good anymore. They don't have asbestos in them anymore. They just don't seal for shit. I was hoping that sumbitch would come loose. It ain't going to. I'm gonna have to take all the main caps off and pry her up a hair and then do it. Hell, these dikes won't even fit in there. Yep, I have to take it loose. All there is to it. Oh, I hate doing it this way. Bearing. Oh! Ah, it's fine. Oh yeah, we're in good shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over on the box. Then, what we gotta do is get to my pry bar. Where's my pry bar? Here's my pry bar. Ugh. Let's bring her up a bit. How do we... What the fuck? There it is. Come on. She's up. Shit. I may have to take this whole damn thing apart to get that out of there. you could just get a wire down in there and dig it out. They had these little wire tools that you could use. The other thing you can do is put a hook on the end. Give me that Dykes. I'll get it. And put a hook on the end of this.
I don't think it's a good time to lay in Kankakee.
Why? Get tornado? Mm-hmm. In Kankakee?
Yeah.
Somebody said that? I don't mean there's a tornado. We got some really bad weather around here right now. Yeah. Luckily this ain't the bad area right now.
It's observed.
Huh?
It's observed.
Observed? They saw one, huh? Up north of us quite a ways, where I usually go on my truck.
A particularly dangerous situation.
Damn.
That's really what it says.
Come on. I don't think I got a damn clothes hanger. Give me a second. Happened to be going through a bucket of my shit from my dad, and there's this. It looks like that's what he used it for. There she goes. Come on. Oh, she wants to get that sucker curved enough. I may just have to take this whole damn thing apart and be done with it. Now I got it stuck up because it's underneath it. That sucker is plain stuck. It ain't coming out at all. Gotcha. Now I can get it. Gotcha. Yeah, that would have leaked. That would have leaked. It was hard as a rock right there. It's pliable at the back, but it's hard as a rock here. It would have leaked. But I just pried that sucker up, and when I started turning it, it came out further. You see, I'll be real careful doing that because you can hurt the bearings. But I think we're okay. Look down in there. We can spray that out and blow it out, and we can just slide the new gasket in there, or the seal. All right, let me go get it and get cleaned up a little bit. All right, so this is gonna be a pain in the ass in itself without showing you, okay? So normally when you're putting these in, you'd want the thing out. But just like, you know, if you were doing, this is basically the same as a Ford 460, but on a 460 one, you have to trim the edge of it off, and that's how it fits. But what we got to do is we got to put it on here, and we're going to have to spin that in there. The crank is all, I cleaned that whole thing out, and the crank is back down on the bearing. I made sure everything was clean, but we're going to put a little bit of black silicone on here, and we're just going to turn it in there. That's all we can do, and hope to God it fits. We'll know real quick when we put it in the cap side and put it on there. We'll know real fast. But I may not even put black silicone on that. You're supposed to. So this is the absolute wrong friggin' way to do this, just so everybody knows. Completely wrong way to do this. It'll hold though. You just gotta make sure you don't get any in the surface that actually seals. I've done this before with a 460 Ford. It's pretty simple, but it's no different than if you went to the shop and they said, hey, you need to change your rear main seal, and then you change your rear main seal. They didn't take the whole goddamn thing apart whenever you did it. Just make sure we ain't getting none down inside that lip. Now it does say you can trim if needed, but we don't have that choice, y'all. Now I'm gonna put a little bit on this end right here. That way when it goes around, it's, you know, sticks in there. But you gotta keep it away from that damn. Okay. I just want it on the edges here. Really, that's all we want. Like mama pants, that'll make mama happy. All right, so your bevel is right there. Or, you know, the lip, that has to be that way. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this on here, like so. Just like that, and get it all over my fingers. And then we're gonna rotate her in there, just like that. Come on, go on in there. You want to do it nice and easy, don't force it. That way you don't rip the seal. You'll know real quick if you rip the seal, but by then you'll have it all the way together, and you know, then you're just kind of, you're fucked. It's not going too bad. Get it off of it a little bit. There we go. And I'm gonna leave it up about a finger's length, about right there, I think. Yep, about like that. You get that cleaned off. I'm sorry about the light. I'm doing this all, you know, as much as I can when I can. Get that cleaned off. Now I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to set it on there. Rotate her in best I can, and we'll check it. This is the only way to do this. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's meeting the end there and it's touching down there. Heck yeah. Okay, let me get that main cap ready to go, and we'll put that in there. I'm just gonna spray this out real good. Might as well go ahead and spray the bearing too. Get it clean. Let me a nice little rag here. We'll clean that out. Oh yeah, we're good. Then we take our dude, and we know we're going this way, and it needs to be in here. So we stick it up in there, and we leave just enough to get it so it'll match that side. And make sure your bevel is in. So we're going right here, just like this. Now I'm gonna push it like that. Boom. There's already a little bit of silicone on there. There's already a little bit there. Hey Zeppy. Grab me my assembly lube.
What?
The black stuff.
What?
The stuff that I use to build motors with. Then we're going to put a little bit of a dab right there, right there. We should be good to go. I'm going to put a little bit of assembly lube on here. But yeah, there's some right here. That way it's on there. And right here, I got some on the block too. Bring it here, buddy. Let me get a new rag. Clean off my bearing surface real good. Open it up, please. Okay, bearing surface is cleanish. Okay, spread me, hold it. Let me get it clean. Okay, just put a dab right there. You get it? Oh, you grabbed the emptiest bottle. Jesus, you did. You grabbed the empty bottle. Don't need a lot. There we go. There you go. Spread. I'm gonna put a little bit on these right here. Okay. So that should be it. We'll stick that down. It goes. Use your bolts. Oh, you have that backwards? Yeah, my bad. My bad. I was holding it wrong. And I'm an idiot. I was completely holding that wrong. About like that. And a little bit on the end. Okay. Like I said, this is not the right way to do this, but if it holds, we're golden. Boom. Where's my hammer? Hammer! This'll work. Okay. That's it. Now we just stick it all back together. Let me get rid of all these because they are dirty. Joe dirty. Alright, let me turn some lights on. I've been rejuvenating the pistons, taking them to the machine shop, make sure they're weighted right. I'm not going to tell you how I clean everything. I'm not touching all of them. I'm just touching this one. I just want to see if maybe it'll clean a hair. I mean, is what it is. That's really bad. That cylinder is really bad. Jeez Louise. We're gonna make it work. Believe it or not, I've seen worse. So let's drop these down to where they're all going downward, or at least I can get fog in there. Get it on the front. That way it don't rust. Fogging it down, fogging it down. And do the whole damn block. Just like that. Whole block. Spray down the middle, I guess. See what I'm doing? Whenever I used to get junkyard engines and I didn't have the money to build them, WD-40, you might think, oh my God, Jay, all the dirt that's going down with the lifter valley and all the lifters and all that, it's fine. It'd be fine, guys. I'm out of brake fluid or brake clean, so ain't much I can do here. But this will help it not rust while we're waiting. I thought I had another fucking can of this somewhere, but I guess I don't. Well, I was gonna put that set screw in that oil hole while I could, and I can't because it's not a 5/16. I need a 3/8, which is fine. I cleaned up the block. I'm still going to clean it up more, but I cleaned it all out best I could. I still got to clean all this up, blow out all the oil. I am going to pull the lifters out, or try to somehow. I may have to do it from the bottom, push them out, and I'll blow out all them oil passages. But it's about as clean as it's going to get. She was pretty bad. A lot worse than you think. I did run that in there, and we just ain't getting that out of there. It's pretty bad. But I've seen worse. I have seen worse. Just check out the engine in the pickup. Get all these freeze plugs out. Probably ought to do that sometime. There's that wonderful thing. What a great idea they used to have. Of course, these are hidden behind the motor mount, so you'd be screwed. But this thing, god dang, I got the burps. This thing's as clean as you're gonna get, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing wrapped up, get my tools put away, and I'm gonna go inside. I gotta work tomorrow. It is windy out here. We're getting the bottom end of the storm. Up north of us, about 150 miles, they're just getting the beating. There's tornadoes and everything. So anyway, guys, I'll be back when I get the right part. We're back. A few days later. It's almost back to the next weekend. As a matter of fact, I've been a couple days in a row been piss-assing around with this 455, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. If I ever decide to do another Buick, I'm going to be to the point where F this thing, it can run off a goddamn cliff for all I care, and I'm to that point, but I keep pushing it because I want one of these engines to work. I noticed that a cylinder was bad, and it is bad. It is. It's bad. So I'm going to emphasize harshly on this. Do not attempt this unless you've done this before. This is not a good idea. I have pulled that piston out. That number 2 piston is out, and I've already wore out one of my deglazing hones. It is junk, so I had to go buy a brand new one. By the way, if you're gonna buy those, just get the Lyle that they got in the aisles at O'Reilly's or wherever. Don't buy that piece of shit on Amazon. They ain't worth a damn. Anyway, let me show you what's going on. So as we said when it got dark the other night, all these cylinders look great except for one, and that's this one. Now you'll notice the coloration of this one is fantastic right there. See where it's all crappy and scratchy? Well, what I've been doing is I've been using very light emery cloth, or sandpaper, very light, and I've been going around this, up and around, all the way down. Then I noticed that it was kind of glazy down here, so then I decided to remove the piston. It's in the garage, and I'm still burping. And I ran that deglazer right there, the stone hone. I ran it in there a few times. That thing's a pile of shit, so I went and bought me a new one. I would not ever try this if you haven't done it before, but I'm basically just stone honing the shit out of that thing. I do not have a dingle ball that is big enough for this cylinder. This is the one that I bought. This is my 430. This is the one I got for the 430. Look at that. I mean, I am going to use it in there just a little bit, just to kind of, just kind of get some crosshatch in there. But believe it or not, if you do it right, you can do it with these. I used to build engines with just these. I never had a ball hone. So I'm going to scratch on this a little more. And then I got the piston is actually soaking in my parts cleaner. I hit it with knocker loose and put it in the parts washer, and it's soaking because the pistons, the rings, the top and the scraper ring, they're both stuck, and I can't have that. I've already cleaned the piston off best I could, but the ring's got to be loose. So let me get to this. Oh, the other thing I did is I took the main cap off the back again just to double check my seal placement, because for a minute there I thought maybe I put it in backwards because I've been so frustrated with this thing. But I had it right. But while I had it out, I cleaned out all the silicone, the RTV that was kind of on this. Yeah, we don't want that. So good thing I took it off. I cleaned all the RTV off of it. But okay, enough rambling. Let's get to it. So I don't know if this Milwaukee's gonna have the nuts for it. I may have to switch it to that electric. Hopefully not. I don't really want to do that. But I'm using WD-40 this time. And as far as this spring goes, we're going to say all of it. Just like a machine shop, y'all. They use the same thing. I keep screwing up. At this point, I don't really give a shit. Pull her out. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, got one little spot in there that just ain't gonna come out, and that's just how it is. I'll show you here in just a little bit. You can get the light out. There you go. See right here, right where my finger is, there's like one little pit right there. That's all I got left. All this is, it's just like a stain. but there's one little pit right there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out of there. I can't go any deeper than that, but look at that cylinder now. I think we'll be in good shape. I'll just get that sucker cleaned up, probably run the ball through it just to just, and it won't be exactly what it needs, but it's better than what it was. I couldn't run this thing the way it was. It was impossible. I couldn't do it. I wanted better for this thing, but I'm done with this shit. I'm done. And then we'll build that 430 in a different video, and you know, at some point we'll put it back in there because I'll have all the stuff for it. But let me give her the old dingle ball and start cleaning up, and we'll get that that block off in that hole right there. We're just gonna drill down, or not even drill down, we're just gonna tap down and then set a set screw down in there. It's 3/8. We'll put that in there, and then we should be good. We'll just clean her up best we can and start putting this sumbitch back together, because I'm over it, y'all. I'm fucking over it. Lucille, you better run good. That's all I got to say. So the piston rings were stuck, and they're junk. The corrosion on this piston it's significant. I've been trying to clean it up as best I can with a wire wheel, and I got to get in there and clean all of them out. May have to take my damn ignition file and get up in here. And of course, nobody sells just this piston ring set for one piston. So I have my whole fucking set of rings for one piston. So then when I get a brand new set of rings, do I go ahead and just throw them all on? I tried it with the pistons rings when they were stuck in. I tried it with the pistons stuck in, and it would just rattle around in there. They were so sucked in. But I put them in this one, and they were a little snug. That's why, you know, I said don't do this unless you know what you're doing. I knew I was gonna have to get new rings. What a pain in the ass. Okay, new rings it is. I'll just try to clean this up. If not, try to find a piston and a rod. That way I don't have to buy a whole goddamn set of pistons too, because then we're just gonna go ahead and remember what I said about if I ever decide to do another Buick, just you know, push me further. No, don't. Ain't nobody got no rings for this thing. Turns out if it's a 425, 455, and a Chevy 409. But I think I got this piston I can get cleaned up well enough that I think we'll be able to reuse it. I don't have to go looking for a piston, even though that's a lot of corrosion. I still think we're going to be all right. But anyway, it's starting to get dark and it's getting cold again. So I'm going to finish cleaning this up, cover all this shit back up, and go inside. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'll be back whenever I get a set of rings, and that probably will be about a week. Whatever. Just whatever. So yeah, I was able to get that piston cleaned up pretty damn good, actually. It's got corrosion on it, you know, and pitting, but it'll work just fine. I'm fucking fed up, is what I am. I haven't had this much trouble out of any engine ever in my life, other than the 402, which was junk, and we knew it was. But this is I'm just about close to saying hell with it. We're taking the Cutlass on poverty tour this June. I don't want to. I want to take this, but if it comes down to that, that's what we're taking. So give me a day, get this figured out, and we'll come to the weekend. It's Thursday now, and it's cold, but it's supposed to warm up a little bit this weekend, then get cold again. So I'm doing the best I can with it out there. Thank God it is out there and not in this here, because it'd be a mess. You know, I still got that thing sitting here. I want to run and tune on it just a hair. It's, you know, it's almost ready. Tony's getting the transmission lined up, and that shouldn't take too long, and then that thing will be ready to stick in there. So that's why the Jeep's gone, so we can get the Trans Am up here somehow. Because while we're waiting on parts, if we have to, or working on that, we can work on the Trans Am. We want both of them on the road. And I'm rambling because I'm pissed off. I'm tired. I got to go to Chicago tomorrow, which is bad. So anyway, we'll see you then. Welcome back, y'all. It's been about 2 weeks. This is going to be a little short thing where I'm going to throw in here to let you know what I'm doing. It got cold as hell here. I mean, freezing cold. And I couldn't really do anything besides that. I had a head that was bad. So luckily, I got one of the heads done. The good head that I had, I got it done. And I found a guy in Wisconsin. Now, his name is B&R's, I believe it's Old Classic Parts. Yeah, B&R's Old Auto Parts Sales, LLC. He's on Marketplace, and he has some other things. But I have his card, and I'll put the information to the place in the description, because life-saving. Plus, he did it in speedy delivery, and I got it in like a day. And it's unbelievable. But let me show you the head that I got from him. Very honest, very, very honest guy to work with. So there's the good head that I've already went through. I lapped the valves, put seals on it, cleaned them up real good. And there's my parts head back here. That's the one that's cracked. I still might see if my welder guys can't get that fixed. Oh, other things I've done. There's the 430 valve covers, and I have the stickers to replace the ones that are bad. The 430. Yes, I know it's going on a 455, but at least this part of it will be original. I'm never that anal about it, but come on, it'll look good. But that's that Buick red paint from I believe the inline tube, and man, is it pretty. There's my timing cover water pump. There's the harmonic balancer dampener, and then over here there's the whole box of brand new pistons for that. That's the 430. That's all the 430 stuff, plus you've already seen it, the junk. But there's the pan. Found one dent, and man, I was scared there was a hole there, but there's not. I double checked, triple checked, but it's all painted up. There's the 430 heads that I'm not going to be using. They're ready to build. Anyway, here's the head I got off B&R's. I just ran my zipper zip across this. I was getting ready to check to make sure it was level. I'm sure it's fine. Has two valves that are kind of questionable in them. This one's kind of rusty. You can kind of see that on the camera. You know, it looks like it had the same problem that one of the other heads had on the number 2 cylinder. My guess was this would be the number 8. I'm pretty sure that this would be the back cylinder. That's usually what does it. And this one's missing part of the bottom of the valve, but I've seen that before. It's no big deal. This is all cleaning up good, but I just got to clean up this side, and then I'll take it apart with my clamp, and I'm just going to clean them up real good, lap the valves, throw seals on it, put it back together. This thing is clean enough that I can probably just do it with brake clean, and we'll be good to go. Somebody must have had headers on it, because that's a header gasket. Oh yeah, this is the only thing right here. I got to get that out of there. Not a big deal. I'll get it out just like I had to on those. Hell, 3 of them were in that one. So I'm going to do that real quick, and hopefully this weekend I'll be able to get this motor back together and running, and then we can just get the transmission on it and we'll stick it back in the car. In the meantime, the transmission for the Trans Am is also done, so we have that coming up. And then I kind of, you know, the Buick's giving me so much problems. Why not get another car? Gave the Bronco to my oldest son, Skyler. You can now see that vehicle on his personal YouTube channel called Dazzle's Rides. And you'll see it. I put it in a post on my what do you call that damn thing? My brain, I just got home. It's a post on the I don't know what it's called, but it's in a post, and you can go to that. It's Dazzle's Rides, and he's gonna have the Bronco over there, plus a little bit on Bonnie, our Buick that he drives daily, and he's a motorcyclist, so he's got a bunch of motorcycle stuff he's gonna do over there. Something new for him to do, right? Anyway, I'm gonna get this head done, and I'll hopefully see you on the weekend. Well, howdy y'all, we're back. It is a extremely nice day. Amber and Zeppy are working on yard stuff, as well as we're getting ready to take the seats out of her, start cleaning up, because she's smelly bitch. She's nasty, and before we can get that in there and she'll take a ride in it for a long trip, that thing's got to be clean. Anyway, I've been over here working on this thing. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. If I do, I want to just put one set of rings in it with a set of bearings and run it, or do I want to take every piston out, clean every piston, hone every cylinder? We'll decide that in a minute. I'm so fed up with this Buick shit that I just can't. Anyway, before I get ranting too much and start cussing, you know, like a sailor, I pulled the freeze plugs out of this. Oh boy. So you can see I got it nice and cleaned up. This cylinder is trash to the normal naked eye, but to me it'll work just fine. It's got cross hatching in it now from my scraper that I bought, my Lyle deglazer. Yeah, it's fine, but all these still have a little bit, but I'm deciding on what I want to do here. Do I want to put that much time in it? So I come over here, start popping out freeze plugs. Yeah, ain't that pretty? It's the whole motor, the whole motor. Yeah, that's, and I took this out. This is old school, if you guys ever seen that. That's what you would use if you couldn't reach to get a new, you know, regular frost or freeze plug in there, or block plug. You'd use one of these, you'd stick it in there, and then you'd tighten this up, and this would expand. It would crush inside there, and it didn't leak. I had to loosen that to get it out. It would not come out. But before I go any further with that, we have to go through this. Oh, I love Buicks. This is just great. I can't look at that. God fucking damn it. Oh. All right, I got the hose out here. Let me get it rinsed out. Let's try this, I suppose. Oh. Okay. I'll let that dry out and I'll wash it out again. It'll be fine. Don't follow me on this one, because I've done this before, and you might be saying, what in the hell are you doing outside gonna re-ring a motor? Used to do it all the time. I didn't have a shop. I don't have a shop. One time I didn't even have a garage. So let's get this other one out. We got to get number one out, and as we go, I'm going to mark each one before we go out. I got a box of normal numbers. 1 and 2 are already marked, and as I pull them out, I'll go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth. But I'm gonna get all these out of here. I'm gonna have a brand new motor except for the mains, which they look good, so I ain't worried about that. Cam bearings, no idea. Looks like it's pretty smooth. We're gonna go with it. I don't want to try to pull them lifters out of there and perhaps ruin them. So let's get number one out of here. son of a bitch, goddamn car. Tell you what, I've had it. I mean, I might as well have just put mains in it too, but holy shit, they're expensive. They're savable. See that? We're good. I'll just run that deglazer through there, and but they look good. So I'm not going to bore you with taking them all out. I'll get that done, and then we'll start when it's time to start putting things back together. They're all out. They all look good. All the cylinders, you can see it in there. It needs to be deglazed. It's got a glaze on it. That's fine. This bad one. This one's. They're all good. There's no ring ridge. Nothing. Crank looks good. So I guess I'll get to glazing these suckers, and then we'll get them rings and everything reset on here. I just clean these up just a little bit. They ain't gonna take much, and then we'll get this thing put back together. So you can see it's got a little blemish right there, but that ain't bad. But right there was another spot. And get out of light, you can kind of see it's right there. I need to work on that. Probably just run it a few more times in there. That one ain't getting any better. These two, they're fine. Had a friend stop by I ain't seen for a while. I have a chat with my friend Jeremy, and I've just been pulling rings off and taking a broken ring and going through and scraping out the ring area here, the ring groove. And by the way, when I was taking these off, 4 of them, the spring in here in your oil ring set snapped, like just disintegrated. I wish I'd have caught that on video, but while I was talking to my friend, I decided, you know, I need to keep going because running out of daylight quicker than I need to. But I'm just going to clean these up real quick, and I'm going to take them inside and run them on my wire brush and just kind of clean off the skirt, and then I'll get the rings on it, and we'll start putting together. I just got to clean the surfaces. I already, while he was here, I went ahead and got my mechanics tape out on all the crank journals. They all look great. They're fine. I just need to get this cleaning done, and we'll get her back together, okay? Okay, while we were away, I got all the pistons clean, caps clean, ring grooves clean, so we can start on that. The only thing I got to clean left is this, the nuts, but everything clean this up and we can start putting back together. In the meantime, Amber wanted to start working on this inside a little bit. This ain't ever been out. I just got it loose, and it is, oh my God. Oh my God. There's some stank. That's nasty. Remember these places, TG and Y? I do. Orbit Gum. Got some kind of a Star Wars card. They definitely had a problem losing combs. There is some money in here, pull tabs, but a lot of the stench was right here. Look at that. That'll do it. Gross. Amber's ready. She's got her, I think does that thing actually work, or is it just a Halloween prop? Oh yeah, she got 2 of them on because it is nasty, but it's got to be done. Getting the super clean out. She's gonna scrub her down, and Zeppy's staying away while they're doing this. He don't need to get no damn sickness. Well, I'll let her get to what she's doing, and I'll get back to what I'm doing. But anyway, let's clean this block up. It'll work. It's not the greatest, but it'll work. We'll get those back in there, and then we can start assembly. Okay, let me get the rings on the piston, and we'll go from there. Also, see, this is why we always let our women do the cleaning, because we would absolutely puke. It is turning yellow as we speak. Yeah, I'm gonna go back over to my dirty motor. Okay, had one of them, the bearing decided to get twisted, but no big deal. Well, they're in there. A couple of them gave me trouble. I think my dad's, this is actually my dad's, and I think it's finally worn out, the edges down here, so I had to redo a couple of the rings. Not a big deal. They're in there, soaked in WD-40. I'm not going to do any more of the bottom end. I'm going to wait till I get my heads on and my intake. That way I can turn this thing over and double check everything without these lifters falling out. It is a pain in the ass to do it this way, but it's the way I'm doing it. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to clean out these water jackets like so. Man, these Pittsburgh, these things suck. They suck. There's too much give. But I need to clean these out so I can get these edges cleaned out. That way when I get the freeze plugged in there, they go in there nice and tight. But yeah. God. That's still so bad in there. I'm gonna go in there and finish that head. I just gotta clean it up and put it back together, lap it and put it back together. I mean, I guess I could put that on camera. I've done it in damn near every video. And honestly, I'm to the point where I just don't want to sit and bore you. So yeah, I took a break from motor stuff. Decided to start trying to get these seats out. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And they are a bastard to get to. They are a bastard. But these, by the way, you have to take them out through the back door. Just the way the body's designed. The doors in the back open wider. Amazing what you can find. I found that underneath the seat. Cheaper Matchbox car. Maybe the owner's dad. It might be his. I'll get a hold of him, see if he wants it. Anyway, I got to get something to eat after I completely doused myself in alcohol. And maybe tomorrow we'll get that seat out of there. It's loose. All this carpet's got to come out. It's got that insulation shit underneath it, and it stinks. It's bad. So, new carpet it is. But I'm going to go in and eat something, and then I'll get to work on those heads. Oh boy, I am done for the night. It is almost like 12:30, something like that, or 1 o'clock. I just been cleaning. I got that head done. It didn't take that long. You can go back and watch other videos of me doing that. I'm not going to fucking bore you with that. Like I said, I'm over this motor. But I have a feeling it's going to run really good. I got everything ready, and everything is clean for the most part, ready for tomorrow. There's the head. It's done. There's the other head. It's ready. All my gaskets and shit are right there. Water pump, everything is right there. Got all these cleaned off and ready. All the bolts are ready. And these are the rocker assemblies. I need to clean them a little better, but I'll worry about that tomorrow. All the rest of my bolts for like the pan and say the valve covers are in there. That is super clean, just enough. And then just sit there and shake it like that. And clean them up. You can see it's clean in there. Looks like if you had a rock tumbler. But everything, I got to clean this and this. I got the thing for the exhaust here, that heat riser flap. It is gone and out. and that way I can just stick this back up on. This is a metal to metal on that manifold right there. And I think that's it, guys. I guess I'll see you in the morning, and we'll get those heads on there. I want to get the upper end put together before I flip it over, and I'll clean these off a little better in the morning. I get more brake clean. I'm high as a kite right now. I have been through 2 cases of brake clean on that motor alone. Yay. Yay. A lot of cigarettes, a few beers, a lot of Monster. But I think it's time. So I will see you in the morning. Let's get this motor together. Maybe we'll fire her off. Good morning. How can you best upset me today? Hopefully not. We're going to clean this up as best we can. Clean this up as best we can, and this as best we can. There's the head that I just redid. I replaced a bunch of valves with spare valves from all my heads that I have, but she's pretty clean. I think it's going to work just fine. Got my head gaskets, got my copper coat. Let's get to cleaning, and let's get this shit together. I'm over it. So I went to town today, got me some brake clean, which I've had this thing forever. I finally just bought a 5-gallon bucket. It's cheaper in the long run. And when you get one of these, you just take that little nozzle off there, pull out that spreader that makes it a spray pattern. That way it comes out just like your, $50 a case can. And this was $120, something like that for it. I'll probably put this one on first. So let me get all the junk out of there. There's a lot of WD-40, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. I don't want a lot in there though to foul the plug at startup. Just wipe her out. Not a big deal. Turn her around. Yeah. Get copper coat on my hands. Make sure we're putting her on the right way. Boom. Let that sit for a second. Trying to remember here. Okay. I got my Ultra Torque. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Whoops. Put some on the face where the bolt's going to touch. And we get the shorties. Got plenty of head bolts. I've already sold enough shit out of that 430 to, it is what it is. All right. Now, well, still going to let that sit for just a second. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit. Let me go get my dirt gun, and I got my torque wrench ready. We'll get to it. Got all my stuff. These heads are 100 pounds, and they have a torque sequence. So it'll be here, 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 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll start off with 50. I like to do them in at least 2, but I got my, right there is how you do it. Your sequencing, it's a little different than some other ones. A lot different actually. 50, 3, 4, 5, and then we were close. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's bring her up to 100. There's a train. I knew that was happening today. Six, 7. Oops, wrong way. 8, 9, 10. Now, I'm gonna go over them one more time, and then as soon as he's fucking done, I'm gonna go over them one more time. We'll get the other head on, then I'll go over them again, because they'll sit here and fluctuate and move and bend and... All right, yes, and I count out loud. I know there's 10 bolts. I count out loud. That's simple. Okay, let me clean up and get that other one on there, and we'll keep going. You can get new bolts if you want, but if you have enough to do a couple engines, which I do, thanks, just pick the best ones and stick them in there. We got 10, right? Kind of long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This junk ass stand. And then we'll bump her up to 100. 100 even. Lock her in. And we go again. Can you count? 1, 2. Uh-oh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's right. One more time. Heads on. Heads on. Now, what are we gonna do next? Just make sure everything's clean. I haven't cleaned the intake yet. I might want to get on that because that's coming up pretty soon. So I have to do one more thing. Wasn't me. I need to make sure all these are loose. There's nothing in them. They all look good as far as the lifters. I need to clean the rail a little bit better yet. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna spray it down with some brake clean and a brush and just kind of brush it out, clean up. They don't need to be perfect. I just want them clean enough, you know. If you're new here, I do things, let's just say a little bit rednecky, but it's what I was taught years and years ago in the shops I worked at and my dad and things like that. Basically, just a filling station rebuild. Like you pull it into the shop that day, they say, oh, you know, your head gasket's gone and you got 15 bearings that are bad, and they yank that son of a bitch out of there in about 15 minutes, kind of like I do. And then they just quickly go through it. You called up the parts store, you got your gasket kit, all your bearings, you did a little quick mechanics tape if it wasn't too bad on all the parts and pieces. If your cam needed reground, or they had a cam over here at Effingham Grinding, they'd get a new one. They used to have all these. Matter of fact, he has some of these still. But I'm not bothering. This cam looks great. Motor don't have a lot of miles, believe it or not. So, all right, let me do some cleaning up of this on them rails, and we'll get them suckers on here, and we'll get our push rods, which I already cleaned last night. We'll get them in here, lock it down, then we can flip this sumbitch over. First, maybe we ought to put the timing chain on though, I guess, yeah? Timing chain it? Okay, we'll do that. Let's get the timing chain on before we go all that shit, but I'll be right back with that. I didn't think about that, see? You guys got me out of whack. It's your fault. Okay, this is an SA gear that I got from TA Performance. They specialize in Buick stuff. This is the one they recommended if I wasn't going roller or any of that stuff. I went ahead and put a little bit of lube on this because this is not press fit. This, as you can see, is a strange setup. It's only 2 bolts, but it's easy. Just make sure you got up and down. You're good. Double check that your piston's up there at top dead, and you are. And I got to tighten that yet, but it's right on the money. I am going to put some Loctite on these bolts because I just always have. Fuel pump, timing chain sprocket to camshaft, 22 pounds. Woo! I'll take these out. Oops. I just always have. I don't know why. Maybe it's wrong, but I just always have. You know, I saw my dad do it. I saw all the people I worked for or worked with when I was a kid. Maybe not red. It was usually blue. But I don't plan on having this motor apart anytime soon. 20, 22. Okay, that's that. Something I want to do real quick. Stick this in there for shits and grins. because it'll be a whole lot easier to turn that motor over now. And I'll need to get the socket for this. But here's where I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna go clean up my rocker assemblies a little better. They're not quite where I like it. I'll have, you know, a little bit of stain and stuff on them. That don't bother me. It's just, they still got a little bit of sludge in them. So let me get that cleaned up. We'll get this sumbitch together, and then we'll turn it over and work on the bottom end. All right. Get these half-ass clean. Got all my rods in there, my push tubes. And then you set that on there like that. Make sure you're in. It looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. If you ever have these, by the way, and it has these aluminum rockers on it, and you have the time and the money and you want to do it, just buy a set of stamped steels. Trust me on that one. From what I understand, it's, you know, they're not the best, but they seem okay. Oh, it took the nipple off this too. Yeah. That's how you super clean. Not like my super clean buddies, but it does pretty good. Again, these are non-adjustable. The way you adjust them is with shims under the spring, and or you can get adjustable push rods, push tubes, push rods, whatever. Really up to you on that sense. But yeah, and they work good. They're adjustable up here, so you don't have to dig into the whole damn motor. Some underneath there. And what is thy torque spec? Normally I just run them down, but we'll go by torque spec. Rocker arm shaft to cylinder head, 25 pounds. Ah shit, I need a 3/8. Shit, I'll be right back. Yep. 3/8. Make sure all your push rods are where they need to be. Yep, we're good. Okay. 25. There we go. 25 pounds. Make sure you should be able to slightly rotate, or not. That one's wide open though. Boom. Double check, double check. Everything looks good. Okay, let me get that other one cleaned up. We'll get it on there. And then we flip her over, which should be a blast on this piece of shit. Okay, so I decided I'm gonna do something first. By the way, there's an oil slinger that goes on right there. I almost forgot that. Almost forgot that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the water pump on here. And while that's setting, then I'm gonna put the timing cover on it. And I've got a timing cover gasket kit from TA Performance. This gasket for the water pump is far better than the one that came with it. And we're gonna use it. Probably don't even need to put anything on this, but I'm going to anyway. I just always feel it's best. Just a sheen of it. And it's just how I am. And everybody can kiss my ass if they don't like it. Look at that, just a little bit. Then we smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. If you use it not as a gasket maker, as just a, you know, it helps, it seeps in and helps seal the water pump or any of the other stuff, you just do it. It's, come on now. I got all brand new bolts. And that should do it. Yeah, it's messy this way. It's probably bad for you. Okay. So, we got that done. Stick that on here. It's nice, got these little guide pins there. Just push it down on there so it's nice and snug. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Buicks are notorious for water pump. Like the bolts, they break off, and trust me, the one in that 430 was awful. So what I'm gonna do is put some anti-seize on all of them. Everything's getting anti-seize, and this stuff helps too. I might just go ahead and do that with all these, but anyway, make sure we're good and clean. I don't see anything, and just set that on like that. Got the guide pins, boom. Then I got a bunch of different size grade 8s, and it looks to me like these longer ones are going to do the better job, and I have 6 and we need 6. So let's open this up, just let it sit like that. I'm going to put a little bit on every single bolt. It does help. Every little bit helps, especially on these. And then we'll take off the excess whenever it dries. I would rather have a little bit of this on my bolts that doesn't paint than broken bolts whenever I go to put the goddamn water pump, you know, goes out, which does happen. Because right now my water pump in Gutless is gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing a big one. Where's the big one? Let me find it. There it is. Just like that. Then I'm not tightening this just yet, but I'm going to run these down just till they're tight. Oops. And that one should be a 1/2 inch. It is. Boom. Okay. Now, while that's sitting a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot. I am going to clean off the timing. May have drilled that out a little too far. I drilled the hole. I'm going to clean up around all these edges of this motor. Just like that. And that should do it. Get that fuel pump eccentric in there. Get all that clean. Okay, there's my wet rag. Then I go over it with a dry rag. I was going to flip this thing, and I thought, nah, I'll go ahead and put that on there now. That way it's ready to go. And here, they make them there, y'all. They are stamped out of the good stuff. So this is what we're using. Now I'm gonna get this set up. I've got all my bolts ready that go through this into there. So first things first, right? Let's get some black on here. I know. There's gonna be some Buick guys gonna be like, what are you doing? And I'm just gonna say, well, I'm doing what I've always done. But this isn't a lot. It may look like a lot, but it's not. Remember, this is all oil passage. I mean, there are a lot of things that could go wrong here. Now you do have to be quick about this because it will, if you don't get it on there, it will soften it a little, which is fine. It ain't, you know, going crazy and getting all, but I really like this gasket kit. This is nice. Okay. I'm probably out of camera range. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna clean my hands up a bit. Where's my... This is a messy way to do it, but whatever. Okay, so now we got our water pump half-assed tight, snug, not tight. Then we're going to take this thing and put it on there with the bolts, but we're not going to tighten it. I'll show you why. All right, a little bit better camera angle, but make sure you got your slinger in there. Chain's tight, we got all that. Everything's there. There are guide pins on the block for this, and right there it is. I'm just going to let that sit, get all my bolts, okay. The long ones are right here, right there. So let's start with those. Let me get a towel here and I'll flip this over. I'll put all my bolts right here. Long, long, long. 1, 2, 3, should be 4 long. Yep, okay. We gonna goop up. Crazy, huh? Trust me, you'll thank me later. So I'm gonna run all these in just to where they touch. Just like that. Then I'm going to take this after I use sandpaper on it because I'm an idiot. There he is. And then I'm going to sandpaper this up, get it cleaned, and what we're doing is we're going to stick this in there before we tighten it. That helps center it. Those center pins are close, but that's the idea. This is especially important on a Pontiac engine. But I don't know if I have any. I don't have any oil. I got to get a little bit of oil too. Boom. In my old school El Cabong, that's just about, well, it's been done for a while, but you oil that up, get this thing started. Right there. These are not press on. by the way. It's fine. There we go. Now, that's going to be the closest you can get to that timing chain being right on the money. So, let's go. Before I put anything on here I can't get through, I'll probably use a hand wrench too, but see, that's why you do this. With this shit, these go through the water pump. You go to change that water pump, one of these breaks off, you're fucked. So just do it. It's messy. It's gonna get everywhere. Just do it. A lot of people, oh my God, how are you gonna paint that? I'm just gonna paint it. That simple. Flip. And we can also do the oil pump while it's upside down. That's if I can get this thing upside down. This stand is a pile. I am not happy with it. So that won't be bad, but I guarantee you going the other way will be. First thing I'm doing is I'm checking to make sure I got all my caps on correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are correct. Correcte mundo. Sorry. Oh, I forgot to clean that. Damn it. All right, so we got our windage tray on. It's bolted on. It's just 3 bolts, 5/16, just rent. Not a big deal. This is the TA Performance oil pickup that is specifically designed for the 455. If you have rear steer, which this one doesn't, it has that. I hope you guys can see that over there. What is this? We got something in here that I don't know what this is. It's some kind of paper. Oil pickup tubes. Clean thoroughly before use. You got it. But this is their pickup tube that goes center sump, like that oil pan is right there. The reason I didn't use the one off the 430 is it is, I believe, 1/2 inch oil passages where the 455 is 5/8. Could have used it, but this thing wasn't all that expensive, y'all. But they also have a bolt and gasket kit. And let me clean this thing out real good, and then we'll go from there. Just a little. Torqued. There we go. That's on now. Well, let's check out the pan. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do the grease thing. That's the highest point. Yes, it is. You also got to remember you got like a eighth inch crush maybe. So that's all the way down right there. That's all the way down. No gasket. That one little touch. It's all good. Well, I need to check all these little areas. Might have to get a little screwdriver in there and get some of that excess that's squatted that I missed. Make sure the edges are cut off here. They are nice and flush. And let's get the pan on, and just got to clean up the intake then. So Houston, we have a major fucking problem. Let's get the oil pan gasket right out of the box. It's always stayed in the box. Everything stayed in the box. It's missing the back rubber piece. And it's specific to this vehicle, this engine. So I'm gonna have to order one, so that puts in, that makes us shit out of luck for now. I'm gonna look a little more if I find it, but I'm gonna go ahead and get one ordered. Probably take a couple days. I mean, I can still get the oil pump, get the exhaust on it, get all the stuff we need to get on it, get the freaking freeze plugs in it. Intake on it. Everything but what I fucking need. Thanks, Velcro. Tuesday. It's Sunday. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm pissed. Damn it. It's Sunday now, Tuesday. Oh, how do you think I feel? It's going to be like a blink of an eye for y'all. And here we go again. You know what I mean? Son of a bitch. But I got things we can do. Freeze plugs are in. And that just means we need to clean up a little bit more. I need to go get the exhaust bolts. I'm going to put grade 8s in it. I'm not buying the original equipment shit, and I'm not putting anything I got back in it because I don't want to go through that crap again. So that's something I can do, and build an oil pump. So let's try that, shall we? But yeah, they're in there. Need to clean them up a little bit. Ain't going nowhere. There's our new timing cover. You know, it was mostly by accident. I think that they found out that these could be indicators of a block that has frozen with these popping out. Because actually, those are casting holes. You know, this is where they inject, the mold and everything. So, kind of weird, but a little tidbit of information. I'm probably wrong, talking out of my ass. Anyway, let's get this sucker together. We get that, and then I'm probably going to set the pan on it and just kind of lock it down. That way it's done, and then we can keep going. We'll get that intake cleaned up and get it on here, and I'll try to get some of this stuff cleaned off. It's drying. Just use a rag and some brake clean. It'll come off. Anyway, let's build an oil pump. Now, old timers will fill this full of petroleum jelly, just like you would any internal one, for pre-oiling, but we're gonna pre-oil this anyway. But it's still metal on metal. Matter of fact, it's hardened steel on aluminum. So you want to make sure you got something in there that's gonna allow this thing to have a chance. So here's what we're doing. We're gonna do that. This one goes in like so, and there is a little timing mark I suppose, on there. It says a T, but I don't know if that means, I don't think there's any timing on this. But we'll get some on this little thing, and kind of hard to show you this, but we're going to do that. Get one in every rung. Find my little T. It's right there. We'll get them close. And in she goes. Now, the right way to do this is to use a piece of Plastigauge. I've done it without it, but it's how you know your clearances. But we got a brand new timing cover that we're going to trust, apparently. And damn it. And it just, I already, I already scraped down this thing about as much as you're going to. So now, this goes like that with the gasket, and then you adjust by your spring, and I'm not going to mess with that until I have it in there. Well, let me see something. So you have all these different springs that will run your oil pressure, you know, your relief. I can't think of the word right now, but just kind of pick one. I think the white one is the normal, but you can change them on the fly. That's the way it's designed. You can just take it out, take that little, this little thing out right here, and you can adjust that. You can change that spring. What's in there is this little plunger. I gotta clean this up yet, so I don't want to stick it in there, but it goes in like that, and your spring sits inside, and then it sits against this cap, and that's what basically sets your pressure. It's awesome, really. I mean, to be able to do that on the fly, pretty cool. So we'll leave that out and that out. Let me clean this plunger real quick. That should be good. And springs we ain't worried about. I'm gonna use the one that TA Performance gave us. Well, maybe not. That's, I don't know. It's smaller than what paper you write on. Okay. And there are instructions that come with it that tell you, you know, what do you want. The scored, use gear thrust plate between. I don't need to do that. Okay. So it'll tell you on here, orange, just for example, orange is 40 pounds of pressure. Yellow is 60 pounds of pressure. White is 27 coil, 60 pounds. That's the one we're using. We're going to use the white. And because I think that's what was in it, and that's probably the best idea. Just use what's in it. Sometimes I'll put silicone on this. A lot of times you don't have to. This time we got a pretty good flat surface. But this is the gasket they gave me from TA. There's a couple different size bolts here. So you just be real careful. And you know, if it leaks, just take it down. Do what I normally do, and that's put silicone on them. don't even think my deal don't even go to 10 pounds. So I'll just do it by ear here. Put that in there. Slides right in. Then we go with our spring. And it comes with a new gasket. There we go. Just like so, and this also has a torque spec. We'll say all of it. Is this the right size? Nope, it's not. All right, I'll get that in a second. Let me check. Totally torqued to spec. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on there. Just kind of snug. I guess we need to get that in there. Torqued. What a pain in the dick. Piece of shit stand. This thing's only 25 pounds heavier, I believe, or 30 pounds heavier than a Chevy 350. There you go. Oh, I had to order these little clips that go in here and hold these rockers in place. One of them freaking broke. I need to blow that out, I suppose, too. But they were cheap. They won't be here till next week. Easy, pop the valve cover off, pop that out, pop a new one in. I may look for a set of like stamp steel, because these, I mean, you'd think they'd be better, but what happens is they wear out on the bar. But okay, so now I'm not going to do anything to that. We got everything is sealed good. This is mostly clean, so I guess I need to God, that, and it corrodes so bad. That's not dirt, that's corrosion. Hopefully the oil will take care of that. Alright, I need to get the intake cleaned up, so that'd take me a little bit. Y'all don't want to see me do that. It's just and done. In this case, I am going to use the China wall gaskets, because reason being is they have 2 points that they stick in. I used them in Bonnie too, in that 340, and they work great. So we're going to use them in this one. Normally I won't. I may put a little bit of silicone down anyway, then shove it down on there, but we shouldn't have any problems. But let me get this thing cleaned up. We'll get the intake on it. Maybe we'll spray her down and do some painting. Then I got to get the exhaust manifold bolts. Shit balls, I forgot about that. Have to run town, and Zeppy's got a band concert here pretty soon. That's okay. Oh, I need a friggin' fuel pump and motor mounts. Shit, I forgot about that. I need to call O'Reilly's back. All right, let me do some cleaning. Okay, so intake is completely clean. I use Super Clean and Brake Clean and you name it. So this is your valley pan for a Buick, and they fit perfectly in there. And then you put these in like that, where it'll actually pop into place, which is pretty awesome. And then you want to silicone these edges, which I'm going to do, and then we'll put these, if you'll notice, they have the spots for them. They go right over the top of this right here. My hand's shaking, too much brake clean. And go just like that, and we're going to silicone in these corners, and probably a little bit right here and on there. That way it smushes down. And no, this is not staying in here. I am pulling this back out, and I'm going to put silicone around these water jackets, and that should be it. But that's what I'm doing, because it's harder for me to show everything outside because the road and everything else. But that's what I'm doing. Let's get it gone, over with, and we'll throw these other valve covers I have, we'll just set them on top of it. Maybe we can paint this thing. What do you think? Give one little oops. She's on. So now I need to get a thermostat. This housing looks like it's okay, and just cleaned it up. We can just throw some, I don't know. Need to throw some valve covers over that, plug the hole, and then we'll brake clean and blow off the whole thing. Yeah, you know what? No, we're gonna wait to do that. I want all this silicone to dry up. You'll get the valve covers, and I'll just set the valve covers on it. That'll cover the tops, and we're pretty much done until I get a pan gasket, so ain't much else we can do. In the meantime, we'll come back and use a brush and get all that off. It'll come right off, and then we'll paint her. We'll paint her. All right, let me go get the valve covers. I think that thing's gonna look good, and it's natural Buick red. This is actual Buick red, inline tube. I have to clean some of this up with a brush or something, just a brass brush. Kind of go around all those, and we'll have to brake clean the entire thing and spray it down, and then we'll paint it that color. And I even got the sticker that goes here for a 430. We're calling it a 430. We got one, I mean, you know. Yeah, we just let that sit. Those crushed great. See what I mean? The Buick, man, they knew what the hell they were doing. At least on that part. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for right now. I guess we'll just make this a it's getting there video. How's that sound? It's getting there. We just got to wait for the pan. I'll put plugs in it. We'll put oil in it. This thing should be ready to roll, and then I just got to change some gaskets in that thing, or just actually the front and rear seals, all I'm changing. The rest of it can stay the way it is. But hey, since we're not starting it today, it gives all this silicone and shit ample time. Did I miss a bolt? No, that's a pin. Okay. Whew. Damn. Idiot. But we should be ready to roll. Should be ready to roll soon. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. But hopefully here soon I'll have everything ready to go to get this thing running. Maybe I'll go ahead and put that pan and everything on it and be done with it. I'll just get everything I need to run. Okay, that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll run her together to break in the rings, because that's all we got to break in, and we'll make sure she runs good before we stick it in the car, because we've had enough trouble, guys. I appreciate all of you. Please like, subscribe if you have not before. It really helps out. Likes and stuff and comments all helps out. Try to spread this around just a little bit, if you know what I mean. Got the merch over there at the Printify store, because that's the only way I can do it. There's a lot over there, probably a lot more to come. People in their loud ass fucking Jeeps. Why? Anyway, head over to the Printify store. Appreciate all the sponsors. They're in the description of the video. Super Clean helped out a lot on this one. Definitely helped out a lot on this one. And by the way, go check out my son's new channel. It's called Dazzle's Rides. He's learning, let's just say that, kids. Anyway, you guys take care. Next video, this thing's going to be running and ready to put in the car. Hopefully driving would be great. Take care. Look at that.
See, it fits.
Car forward. I'll find my